guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Esther and I make fitness and lifestyle content. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra generous, give this video a like as well, because I'm spilling the tea as to why I've decided to leave the UK. If you've seen my previous vlogs, you would have seen I'm currently in Thailand, and I wanted to have a sit down video just to go through why have we decided to leave our very comfortable lives in the UK to full-time live abroad. Now, I will preface this video by saying that we are only a month and a half into our journey, literally winging it as we go. Are currently long-term traveling whilst working, whilst also obviously going to the gym, things like that. Before we find out somewhere where we really want to settle down and live in, we want to travel around and see what's out there. So let's bring it right back, shall we? Let's go with the reason number one: the weather. The weather in the UK is horrendous. Like, honest to God, I get SAD, which is, I'll put a little description as to what that is if you don't know. I get that really, really bad. So if it's cloudy, if it's dark 24/7, I really am not myself. I'm quite literally miserable, and I literally see the world as a half empty world. Really had an impact on my mental health, and it was really having an impact on my business. I am self-employed, so obviously if I am not feeling 100%, honey, obviously my business is going to suffer as well. Just got to the point where just making me so miserable, like constant rain, like the one glimmer of hope of seeing sun is like once every 2 months, and it was just not okay for me. Back in last year in July, me and my partner, we literally sold everything. We're living in a really nice 4-bedroom house. We had a settled life. We were successful in our businesses, literally nothing was really going wrong, really. But we just knew that there was a whole world to be explored. So back in July last year, we literally got rid. We literally just put all of our stuff into storage, and we just booked a one-way flight to Bali. I actually ended up spending 4 months in Bali, and that was like the glimmer of a life that I've always wanted. Waking up to sunshine every day, feeling productive, feeling like you actually want to wake up each morning rather than dragging your ass out of bed going, oh my God, it's another day, and then opening your curtains and it's rain, and then you're like, oh my God, what's the point? It really made me realize I was the most productive I'd ever been. My business was booming. I was booming. From that moment when we came back to the UK, we're like, we need to move abroad. Reason number 2 is the culture. For us, obviously, we are self-employed. We're very ambitious. We want to grow. We want to be successful. And what we really found, and it's so unfortunate to say this, but when you get a glimmer of success, you're doing well, people start to get jealous, they start to speak negatively about you, you start losing friends, you become very much a recluse. And in an environment where people are consistently negative, where people can't be bothered to grow, to develop, to actually look into the positives of consistent personal development, it rubs off on you. The number 3 is cost of living. Don't get me wrong, we are in a very privileged position. We're self-employed, we work online, we literally, essentially, are very, very much in control with how much we earn. We're not on a salary, so we're very privileged in that. However, the UK, especially as of quite recent, is just astronomical in terms of cost of living. I can't even explain how crippling that is. So honestly, I can't even imagine what other people are going through who aren't as fortunate as we are. Honestly, we just found, yeah, we might have had a nice house, cars, whatever, but I just found that we literally were just paying to live. We weren't doing anything, we weren't spending our weekends doing anything other than working, which obviously is great, absolutely no problem. You're literally you know, wanting to improve your business. But it just had a really negative impact on us, on our relationship, because we weren't having any quality time together. So if you wanted to have a date night or go to the cinema, that's like 50, 60 quid down the pop, especially if you want snacks. Like, why is it that expensive? Not even to mention doing a normal food shop. Like, £100 for 2 people is not normal. Like, is not normal. So we literally, again, we were like, we need to leave here because working extremely hard, there's all work and no play, and there's more to life than that. Reason number 4 is, I hate to be this person, but it's the healthcare. It's the healthcare. Like, I have a really good example that I'm going to tell you about. The healthcare in the UK, yes, we're blessed, it's free, but it's not fucking great. It's not okay. I know, and I've heard of horror stories of people have to wait months to get appointments, and I'm just like that. Again, that isn't normal. And great example, obviously I'm in Thailand at the moment, I'm in Phuket at the moment. I had a mole on my back, and it was a dodgy looking mole, and I was going to get a mapping service done in the UK, where essentially it's just a mole screening where they take pictures of your moles and they just do it as an overview. Now that alone would have cost me £400 because the NHS actually don't fund that. So if you wanted like a full body check of your moles, like the NHS doesn't fund that and you have to go private. I decided to just bite the bullet and wait and see what would happen if I literally did the exact same thing here in Thailand. Now, I go into obviously a private skin cancer clinic that was the cleanest, most bougiest, like the floor was marble, for crying out loud, okay? And I had a consultation with a doctor. The doctor went around with an eyepiece with a light on it and went over every single mole in my body, in between my goddamn toes. And he circled the moles that he wanted to get pictures taken of. And then I went into a separate room and got a telescopic picture taken with a special machine that was like a gun, and it was like pointing to each mole. And I actually got a biopsy from the mole on my back, the dodgy one. All of that was £340. Bearing in mind, I got my results within the week. Bearing in mind, literally, like, I made the appointment, everything was done there and then. £340. Bearing in mind, just the check would have been £400 in the UK. So I genuinely feel like because the NHS is so overwhelmed and it's underfunded by the government, like, it's not that great and literally is playing with people's lives. And in my opinion, I don't want anything a part of it. I would rather go elsewhere. Reason number 5 was just to have a better quality of life. Now, I mentioned previously, in the UK, we will all work and no play. Here, you don't even need to spend a lot. You spend £2.50 on a sunbed on the beach. Spend the whole day at the beach if you wanted to. Or you can go a bit more bougie and go to a beach club. Or you can go and explore the islands. So much more to do because the weather is nice, because it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Like, I'm not being funny. If you wanted to go to the Fifi Islands, literally it costs you less than £30 to get from Phuket to Fifi Islands, and you're literally having to board, like, go on a boat. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything is so much more accessible. Okay, I'm gonna chuck in another reason. Reason number 6, just more health focused. In the UK, it is extremely expensive to live healthily, and I'm talking the produce, I'm talking the lifestyle, okay? Here, it's actually more expensive for you to buy processed stuff. And I'm talking like the cereals, like just processed anything. It's a lot more expensive for you to buy the stuff that normally is really cheap in the UK. And instead, like, you find yourself eating just meat, eggs, yogurt, fruit, veg. Like, that is literally all that we eat because it's the cheapest, it's the most readily available. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I feel the best I've ever felt. I've always got energy, and that's because I'm literally eating proper food. So they're like the main reasons as to why we decided to leave the UK. I feel like if anyone is watching this and you are miserable, you're kind of feeling a little bit lost like I was, like in the UK, like I just felt like I'd almost outgrown the place. If you're also feeling that way, just know that you can do something about it in this day and age. Honestly, social media is the golden ticket. Like, work on social media, like post the content, don't care what people say, because you actually can see the future and you want better for yourself. Like, we are online coaches, myself and my partner, we are online fitness coaches, which obviously stems from social media, and that's obviously allowed us to still work our jobs but also live outside the UK, and has literally quite considerably changed our lives, to be honest with you. If you'd like me to do another video to explain perhaps how I got started working online, or how we actually went about leaving the UK, please drop down in the comments below. I'd absolutely do that if you want to see that. But I just wanted to kind of give you a really chill overview as to why we've actually decided to move, because I'm posting out all the travel content and I feel like I needed to give a bit of context as to why. So hope you like this video. If you are still here, thank you so much for making it the whole way through. See you in the next video. Bye.